One website to rule them all. One website to find them. One website to bring them all. And in the darkness, wait a minute.
It is a gift.
Kudos to you if you actually got that reference, and while this website is not quite enough to make one all-powerful, it's pretty damn near close in the world of making money online because of the sheer number of things you can accomplish with it. And yes, I am talking about Canva.com, which actually has been also quietly updating itself in the past few months to becoming one of the most powerful and versatile content creation platforms out there. So in today's video, I'm not only going to go through how to use Canva to perform over 10 cutting-edge Fiverr gigs to make money with, but I'm also going to add in some additional free tools to assist you in making it work even better and easier.
It'll be easy as 1, 2.
Before we begin though, do me a very quick favor by gently smashing the like button because it'll really help me and my channel out, and you can also consider subscribing as well for more cutting edge videos about making money online and digital entrepreneurship just like this one. Plus you can check out my investing channel as well. And with that, let's get started with the video. So getting right into things, here are more than 10 different types of Fiverr gigs that I highly recommend you do through Canva, although there are definitely a lot more opportunities on this platform, and it also depends on your personal skill set as well. So you can definitely explore some of the different options that are on here, but for now let's go over some of my recommendations. So right now, as you can see, we are already on Fiverr, and I'm going to start with my first recommendation here, which is designing vision boards. And the main reason I wanted to point out this gig is that it seems to be a lot less competitive right now with not as many sellers, plus it's also very easy to do, and it's also not listed under any of these major categories, so then people do have to search for it, but at the same time it's also quite easy in my opinion to promote and advertise off platform. So then you can definitely have some opportunities there. And anyhow, in terms of how to do these, well, first of all, what is a vision board? Well, these are essentially sort of like people who want to visualize their goals or piece together different images and quotes and notes for what their goals are. These are usually what you want to do, right? So when you're listing your gig for your client, you actually want to ask them, and when you're listing a Fiverr gig, by the way, you can definitely have mandatory questions for your clients to answer, so then you get information you need to actually do your gigs. And if we quickly take a look at an example of a successful seller who is actually charging starting from $30, so it's quite a bit of money for such an easy type of gig, right? And if you look at their basic package, it's literally just one vision board, so it's one image, or one collage rather, with up to 9 pictures and up to one revision as well. So people can request for like a change if they need, but that's usually quite simple and straightforward as well. And as you can see, we scroll through some of these vision boards, that's really all you have to do, right? You're just putting together a bunch of different images that again is based on people's goals, so they'll actually give you the information you need, and all you have to do is to find the pictures and also some other quotes, for example, to put together into some kind of template, right? And so to do this, you can go onto Canva, and the thing about Canva though is that you don't actually search vision boards, but instead they have a different name for it, but it's the same thing. You would search up mood boards, alright? So up here in the search, you can type in mood boards, or the full name would be mood boards photo collage. And as you can see, there are a ton of really professional looking templates that you can use and also edit as well, right? If you need more images or different images for each of these templates. So if I just open up one of them, you'll see that a lot of these images they've already built in, and you can also double click and you can delete an image if you want, right? And then you'll see that this is just the frame that's already set by Canva, where you can actually just drag in a different image to replace it. And for additional templates, you can always go to the templates tab on the left side here to find them, such as the second one that I have put in here that has 9 images, and you can always again replace any image you want by just double clicking and hitting delete, like what I just did just now. Oops. And then to actually find images, if you want royalty-free images, you can go over to the left side here, where Canva has also recently conveniently integrated within itself Pexels and Pixabay. And so Pexels is primarily for royalty-free photographs and also videos, and we'll get to more video stuff later on. But Pexels is an excellent resource for finding royalty-free images, or photos rather, which means you can in fact use them without any legal repercussions. And the other one would be Pixabay, which is similar, and they also have images, or they also have pictures or photos rather, but they also have a lot of different types of pictures, like even illustrations that you can use. So you can definitely utilize both websites that both give you royalty-free images. And alternatively, because we're dealing with vision boards, sometimes it is going to be okay to go onto Google, because again, this person or people who buy vision boards from you are not going to be selling it or marketing like their vision board in any way, right? So it's not meant for business purposes. So when you're building a vision board for them, if one of their goals, for example, is to buy a certain car or a certain type of house or have a certain type of whatever item it is, you can always Google that and find the image right on Google and just put it into the collage.
Of course!
And that was the basic gist of how to design these so-called mood boards or vision boards right on Canva for Fiverr. And with that, moving on to the next type of gig I want to highlight, we have designing all sorts of stationeries for businesses, which includes business cards, but also a lot of other types of items. So for this, you can actually go onto Canva to click on there's actually several tabs on the top for different categories. So for this, you would actually go for the office and or marketing and or print products category. So there's actually a ton of different types of things you can do or focus on, and it really is up to you how you want to brand or what you think you might be good at or would enjoy doing. And you can also check on Fiverr, and I highly recommend doing this, what types of stationaries have a bit less competition, right? So for example, instead of going with the entire category or trying to compete within the whole category of business cards and stationery, which is actually listed directly under one of the graphics and design gigs or the category here, you can actually be more specific with your keywords. For example, you can target things like minimalistic stationery, or you can replace minimalistic with whatever keyword you want, right? Let's say you wanted to do something fashion related, so you could do fashion business stationery, or you could do gaming related stationery, or whatever business you want to target, right? It doesn't necessarily even have to be a business. And with that, you can also, besides that, actually, you can also target specific types of stationery or printables, right? And you can really look at Canva to look at what options are available and sort of craft together your type of gig that would make you stand out. That can still potentially, with one gig, offer multiple types of designs and stationaries, or you can also split it up to different categories, because even as a new Fiverr seller, you can list up to 7 different gigs. And so doing that would actually potentially get you more eyeballs, because you can actually target different keywords if you have more than one gig. And if you want to do multiple types of stationaries on Canva, one way to save you a lot of time, besides using their own templates such as these ones for their business cards and so on and so forth, is that there's actually a feature on Canva right now called the brand kit, which you can access by going to home and then going to the left side here where it says, well, brand kit. And what this does is, if you actually upload a logo and a brand color and brand fonts, you can actually have the same logo, colors, and fonts be featured on multiple designs that you make on Canva, right? Which means if you create multiple different types of stationery, you can just recycle the same pretty much automatically logos, colors, and fonts. And again, a lot of these things you can just ask on your Fiverr gig what your client wants. So just literally make a question on your Fiverr gig, a mandatory question asking about what they want these to be customized as. And if they have a logo, you can just ask them to upload their logo, which means you don't necessarily even have to design one for them. And even if you do want to create a logo for your client, you can definitely also do so using Canva's own logo maker.
Trust me.
Moving on to our next type of gig, we have more of a design focus on making t-shirts and merchandise designs. And notice how if we just target the broader category, there will be a bit more competition. But again, you can definitely very easily narrow down, especially if you're a beginner seller, to more specific keywords and specific types of designs, right? For example, this person is doing typography designs. You can do even more specific types of quotes, for example, right? And you can do different types of visual designs as well, like scarier designs or funnier designs, or also if you're going to do typography or have words, funnier quotes too, right? So there's definitely a lot of different types of niches that you can target with this. And to help you with that, first of all, you can use a platform, and this is optional by the way, but it'll make things a lot easier. You can use a platform like Merch Informer, which has a free trial to help you identify some of the best trends and best designs, top selling designs to focus on. And you can also double this down as a way for you to create your own merch to sell, but that's sort of off topic and for a different video. But you can use this, or you can just go on to the print on demand or merch websites themselves like Amazon, Redbubble, to just do a few easy searches to find what sorts of designs are working on those platforms, right? And you can easily base some of your designs, quotes, and inspiration from those websites. And to create any of these t-shirt designs, again, it's quite easy with Canva, plus another free tool, which is to help you remove your background. But anyway, first of all, just use Canva to, for example, open up a template for, say, stickers or mugs or t-shirts. And then once you customize it, you can change the text, you can add different images. And by the way, again, Pexels and Pixabay are great ways to get royalty-free images that you can make designs to actually be legal to sell. So you want to especially focus on images you grab from these two sources. But the free, notice how some of the different images on Canva have either free or pro labeled on them. You want to also focus on the free ones to ensure that you're going with more Creative Commons or royalty-free assets. And by the way, as an example, I've actually seen people sell Pexels based designs, such as ones with photographs of these like more neon city-like designs. So people have literally slapped these onto a t-shirt and sold them on Amazon. So I've definitely seen things like that, and you can definitely do so with different types of photos as well. So my point here is that you don't necessarily have to use like illustrations to make and graphics to make your t-shirts or whatever types of merch you're making. You can also use photos as well.
You got it, Jobin. So, what?
Now, sometimes when you're delivering images, especially for merch designs, your images have to be backgroundless, okay? So what this means is, for example, if I delete the red here, it'll just be the black part or the circular part without any of the white, right? So the white behind it or the white background is not going to be part of the image. And the file type will be a PNG. So there's a couple of ways to create this. One way would be to use Canva Pro, and there is a couple of months of free trials worth that you can use with Canva to just download these straight up. Or if you don't want to use Pro, you can also just download the normal image from Canva and then just use a website like remove.bg where you can upload an image that you downloaded from Canva, for example, and then just have it convert to or have it remove the background for you. So for example, here I have my own picture that I removed the background for. It works like a charm, so you can definitely try out this website to do this. Or there are some other websites you can probably find on Google as well. And with that, on to our next type of gig, we have social media design, which I would think is quite self-explanatory and yet has quite a lot of potential, because there's so many different types of social media platforms and different types of things you can do to design for social media, and the platforms are always constantly evolving as well, with sometimes even new platforms coming out that you can capitalize on, right? And for example, we have just on Instagram or Facebook itself, we've always had new features coming out with people starting up stores on Instagram, being able to tag products and needing product advertisement or images designed for Instagram, for example, and even things like Pinterest stories, which are sort of Pinterest pins in video form, and the list goes on. So the key here is to be very adaptive to the new trends that come out and also be able to provide for that, right, before a lot of the other competition floods in, because that's sort of the nature of Fiverr, is to sort of try to beat your competition, especially as a new seller. By the way, if you're a more established seller, you can definitely get away with more general keywords, because your rankings will be sort of boosted automatically. So that's sort of how people build up on Fiverr. Anyhow, to create these social media designs of various sorts, again, Canva is an excellent tool for that, because if you just click on the social media tab here, you'll find lots of different templates for each of the different types of social media, from images to even video clips to different dimensions like banners and things like that, and ads. And besides this, it's also quite easy to make a social media post from scratch, especially if you refer to what successful not only Fiverr sellers are doing, but also successful pages on those social media platforms of different niches, right? For example, with my own page, I've been able to design a lot of these different infographic type posts quite easily. All you really have to do is to make your text large enough, line everything up properly. That's extremely important because you want it to look professional. So make sure every text, every image is lined up in a neat way. And then for the images here, just go over to the elements tab on the left and you can type in whatever keywords you need to find even free elements to use in each post. And you can have multiple pages, on some of your posts as well. And for a quick power tip regarding creating social media designs, and it's that you can actually make a few templates and just sell the same templates to multiple clients. And this way you can actually save a lot of time and effort over time. For example, we have a gig right here that says, I will provide 1,000 business tips infographics for Instagram. And you obviously don't have to have or provide up to 1,000. And in fact, if we look closer at his gig or his or her gig, he doesn't actually even give that many, right? For the basic package, it's 50, for standard it's 250, and then premium it's 1,000, which does sound like a lot, but this person could very well have paid somebody else to create all these templates for them, and then they can just keep selling the same ones over and over and over again, right? So that is one option you can go with, or you can go with a different niche, for example, and not necessarily give that many templates for whatever you're charging for, which could still work if you're in a specific niche, right? But anyway, my point here is you can actually just make, for example, certain types of posts, like even infographic posts, and just sell the same post to multiple clients. And for this, you can just create a gig such as this, right? So that's a great way to save some time. And another power tip I have for you is to actually use another one of Canva's new features. And this actually coincides with yet another type of gig, also related to social media, but not quite necessarily creating posts, although you could include creating posts with it or creating designs with it, and that is managing social media. And for this, Canva actually recently came out with their own so-called content planner, which you can access by going to home and then clicking on content planner on the left here. And what you can actually do is to have your client add you to a team, which gives you access to, create posts on their behalf. And so not only can you help them create posts right on Canva, but you can also, if they link their account to their social media page, like Instagram, for example, you can actually schedule posts using this calendar to help them post as well. So this is a great way to not only potentially help them, help your clients create designs, but also help manage their pages as well, which is yet another service you can provide on Canva for even more money. On to the next set of gigs and into a bit of video content, we have first of all intros and outros specifically, but not limited to YouTube. And one thing you notice with video gigs is that compared to image gigs, you can typically charge a bit more because people usually expect more difficult and more work out of doing videos, but that's not necessarily the case, as you'll find out because of how easy it is to do videos on Canva. So if we quickly go over to Canva, first of all, let's say we're gonna do a YouTube intro. So all you have to do is just search it up in the search bar to get the right dimensions as well as templates, which you can pick from a lot of, and which you can actually further customize the text, the color, move around the images, and so on and so forth, right? So it's very highly customizable. And one other thing I want to highlight that works especially well for these types of really short clips, being, for example, YouTube intros and outros, these usually last for just a few seconds long, right? Let's say 5 to 10 seconds long. 10 seconds actually already stretching it. But anyhow, one feature specifically on Canva that works really well is, well, first of all, I want to also highlight that if you go to the Elements tab here, you'll be able to find some animated GIFs or animated images, such as this one that I recently used. So you can consider using these as well for your intros and outros or other types of short clips. This is one of the newer features of Canva as well, but an even better one would be to animate any of the assets on your canvas. So what I mean is, for example, if I click on the top left here, there's actually a lesser known feature on Canva which allows you to animate each and every asset inside your frame here, such as if I just click on or hover over any of these, you'll see that, for example, block, this is the type of animation style that happens if I do block. I can also do a different one like breathe. I can do rise, which is what they have right now. So these are really easy, extremely easy ways to do animations for otherwise static images that you can easily use to turn into things like animated intros and outros, right? Without really doing any of the work, because these are sort of templates already built into Canva. So that's super convenient. And another thing I want to mention is that you can actually add music to your clips as well, right? Because usually a lot of times intros and outros will have music with it, and you can choose whether or not you want to include it in your gig. And if you do, you can perhaps command, a better price with your gig as well, right? And so for this, you can also go to the audio tab and just look for songs to add, or you can also go to any sort of royalty-free music library like YouTube's audio library to find clips that way and just upload a music clip onto here. Moving on, another type of really easy and convenient type of video that you can do with Canva to sell on Fiverr are short video ads. And again, if you're starting out on Fiverr to sort of lessen the competition, you should definitely niche down to, for example, you can include keywords like whatever platform you want to focus on. Like let's say you want to do Facebook short video ads. So you can add that keyword to your title and your description, and just on Canva, you would make videos with those dimensions in mind, right? All you have to do is to basically type in the search bar the dimensions you want. And for this, you can easily do these types of videos by, for example, first of all, you can look at templates, and secondly, you can also add additional slides or additional videos to your entire video. So for example, let me just play this one for you. These are all from Canva's own templates. This is the first page, this is the second page, so it definitely looks really professional, right? And another thing I want to point out is that, again, Canva has its own integration with Pexels, which is actually an excellent resource for creating these types of short video ads, especially, or even other types of short videos, right? Because Pexels offers lots of stock, not only images, but also video clips. And this is where it beats out Pixabay even. But the thing with searching on Pexels, even though there's a tab here for Pexels, or you can add it in on Canva, is that if you search for stuff, you can't seem to specify whether you want images or videos. And so to get specifically videos, you can just go to the Pexels, the actual Pexels website, and then when you type in whatever keyword, you can actually toggle here to between photos and videos. So if you want videos, you can just do videos, and then you can find lots of different videos you can freely use in any of your video clips, such as video ads on Canva as well, right? And they're all surely going to look really professional. And not only that, but there are tons of videos you can find on Pexels, and it's actually a platform that's growing extremely quickly as well. For example, just by typing in city, you can find almost 15,000 videos of these videos on cities, just from this keyword alone.
It's nice.
And for a somewhat similar Fiverr gig and Canva method, although I would actually categorize this differently from short video ads, and I'll explain in just a bit, we have all sorts of slideshow videos, in particular those for presentations and perhaps educational type slideshows or videos. And these can work, again, for a variety of niches, so you can definitely try to niche down at the beginning. But again, if we go over to, well, there's another category here that I can quickly show you, which is called e-learning video production, that you can consider as well, which is similar to slideshow videos as well. So you can, again, sort of explore the platform and try to niche down if you're a newer Fiverr seller. But anyhow, if we jump over to Canva really quick, you'll see that, again, they have tons of templates in particular specifically for this, where you can not only do normal slideshows like you would with a PowerPoint, right, with Google Slides, but you can also use their video feature to not only add slides, but set specific durations for each slide to turn it into a video. And not only that, but using the techniques we talked about earlier with the animate button here, and like doing this, different animations that you can include. You can also go to elements and add animated images as well. You can do all this to turn not only, you can create not only normal slideshows, but also animated slideshow videos. And the key difference between these and, like, say, short video ads is that these are very text based. And again, you can easily customize the text. Usually your customer will provide you with the script they have because they're going to be promoting or educating people on whatever they want to do, right? But if you want to perhaps charge more money, you can also help people do research and come up with some of the text and the contents rather for the slideshow or slideshow videos. Moving on to the next gig, which is a bit more of a niche one, but definitely very profitable, and you can consider niching down even further if you want to. We have book covers. And now, as you can see, you can definitely charge quite a bit for just doing something seemingly simple, but it's actually not as simple as it looks, and there's a reason why people are paying sort of premiums to do this, because depending on each book, there's a different thickness and thus a different bridge size, right? Which is, the thicker your book is, or the more pages your book is, there's actually different dimensions that your book covers have to be, right? So when I say cover, it's not just the front cover, but it's the front, side, and back. That's typically how much you have to do when doing these professional covers. But fear not, with the proper tools on Canva and also with some outside help, you can actually design these covers quite easily with the complete and correct dimensions. So first, if you go over to Canva, you can indeed look up book cover templates, but just doing this is not enough. You want to do the entire three-dimensional book, right, for physical book. So what you'll have to do instead is to, you can actually use a website called BookOwl or BookOW, however you pronounce it. And this is completely free, and you can scroll down to whatever you want your book dimensions to be, right? So this would be information you need to request from your gig or your client rather. And so when people tell you, for example, they want a book that is 6 by 9 inches, right? So you can first of all type in here the width is 6 inches, the height rather could be 9 inches or whatever they request, and you need to also ask them for a page count. So let's say the page count is 100, and with these you don't have to mind the ISBN, all these numbers, unless people want to give these to you. You can also fill these out, but all you have to do is to fill out these three numbers and then fill in your email address and then click on email, and it'll actually send you this template on the right side with the accurate dimensions. And with this, and it'll be an image, right? And so with this, you can actually take this template and you can actually see the dimensions, right? It'll tell you the total dimensions of this entire image. And so what you would have to do is to go over to Canva, and then on the top right here, you would actually have to click on custom size, and then whatever dimensions you get from this book or from this image, it'll say on the image, you should type it into here, right? And you want to make sure the units are correct as well. So if it's in inches, you want to obviously do inches. If it's in centimeters, it'll most likely be in inches, right? So just type in the inches, width by height, and it'll give you the right dimensions for your Canva template as well. And after you have that Canva canvas open, no pun intended, you'll then go take your image that you downloaded from an email and just paste it onto your Canva image, and then you can design on top of that, right? So the importance and the convenience of doing that is that you can just fill out the white spots. So all you have to do is avoid the pinkish reddish spots, because those are where the book will fold. So you don't necessarily need any images on those, but you could definitely have it bleed over, so you can have the image cover those as well. That's fine. But the parts you definitely want to keep blank. And by blank, I mean you can still have images on these yellow spots, but you don't want any important text on there, right? So the book title and so on and so forth, you want to avoid the yellow spots, because that's where people will put their barcodes and whatever, you know, important information for a book to be published, right?
Right.
And on to our final category of profitable yet easy gigs, we have creating planners of all sorts. And for this, usually you can create a digital file of some sort, as long as it's easy for people to print out and just use that way. So for this, you can actually not only use Canva's own templates, including some of the book covers, because if you want to create a planner, you can have a cover as well, which will make things a bit more professional and better. And not only that, but on the Canva homepage, if you go to the More tab here, or you can just search it up in the search bar, you'll be able to find different types of planners as well. So for example, if I click on, there's things like class schedule, graphic organizer even, concept map, invoice, and other sorts of templates. So there are indeed different types of planners and templates you can create, like worksheets too. But if I just open up the planner category here, you'll find some pretty decent templates on Canva, and you can also add additional pages and even mix and match different pages. So that's all really good. And before this, you can also add a cover. And if you want to do like a physical template, you can also resort to what I said earlier about doing an actual book cover that people can publish or print out using BookOwl and the previous technique, right? But even if not, you can just do a straight up ebook using a planner like this. Or you can also use another website to complement this that's super useful, called Bookbolt, where you can actually go to the resources tab on the top here, click on Interior Wizard, which will actually open up, if I just open it up right now, it'll actually open up this where you can again change the dimensions of whatever you want your book or dimensions of your book to be, or your client's book. And you can also pick from a variety of pages here, so you can literally just rely on some of these pre-made templates for pages for different types of planners. You can mix and match them, and you can use Canva to help you design your cover. And besides that, there's another tool on Bookbolt, which is you can access also in the resources tab, called Interior PDF Combiner Pro. So the pro version, excuse me, what you can also do is you can actually customize these specific pages. So you can actually upload, first of all, go to the upload tab, you can upload the cover pages that you made from Canva. or you can just get the templates right from Canva like these and just tweak them. And then you can add the first page and the last page as your covers, and in between just click on the plus sign here to add internal pages for whatever templates you need for your planners that you want to make. And those are some of the top Fiverr gigs you can do mostly with Canva with the help of some other websites as well. Also, you can consider checking out my top recommended method for making money online largely passively and based on your actual passions and hobbies using the first link below. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace!